growing up, I was just very lukewarm, didn't really understand my faith, wasn't practicing it until actually about halfway through high school when a new parish priest came to my parish for just 1 year, but that 1 year radically changed my life. And this priest was very convicted by John Paul II, and he started a youth group called Be Not Afraid. And in this youth group, we started learning about John Paul II and the history of Poland and the beauty of the church and all these wonderful things that I had no idea about. And as this youth group started to grow, we met more frequently, and we decided to, start talking about it, going on a pilgrimage. She ended up leading a pilgrimage to Poland. And it was that pilgrimage was a very tangible step for me, because it was the first time that I recognized that I was practicing my faith. I learned how to pray the rosary. And now looking back on it, I realize it's because I was uncomfortable. And it was the first time in my life where I had a sense of discomfort in my whatever I was doing, because previous to that I had always been kind of complacent or comfortable with where I was. So I was forced to rely on a will that wasn't my own. From there, while I was at school, another big step of discomfort was when I decided to do a semester abroad in Madrid, Spain. And it was in Madrid, Spain where I truly fell in love with the church. And that is because I recognized in really the land of the saints, right? I mean, there are countless saints from all over Spain, that I was realizing the tangibility of sainthood, that it really is nothing so glamorous or so hard to attain, that each one of us individually has a vocation, and if we live that vocation well, that we can attain that. And in all of that, I realized what the priesthood really meant, because years prior to that, when I first had this conversion from going to Poland, I became kind of narcissistic on what priesthood looked like, only because the only people telling me about priesthood were these people at the church that saw this young man going to Mass. So I was like, yeah, I'd be great at being a priest, I would fit well in that. But finally, after years of perfecting that, I realized what that is and what that vocation looks like, and that I actually truly did desire that. So in that, I slowly started perfecting my will and understanding more of what that vocation is. And perfectly, I encountered the Dominican friars, and in particular one friar who is at my school, and he very beautifully showed me his joy, and because he was so joyful, I wanted that joy and I wanted what he had. And so the idea of living a life of teaching and preaching and studying and contemplation is a perfect fit for me, and it gets me overjoyed at even the thought of it. And I'm very overjoyed and very excited and very confident that this is kind of where the Lord is leading me next, and this is where my next yes is because He's showing me all of these great things that I could have, and I know that I can sacrifice them back to Him because He is really who I desire.